Let's get real in this video. Welcome back to Atlas Crossings, and in this video, we will be talking about 10 brutal truths students don't want to hear. Number 1, no one is going to do the work for you. And this might sound very obvious, but many students actually think that they can leave their work until the last minute and just by some miracle, the work will get done. No, you would end up having to do the work. If you put in the effort, then the work will be done by you and you can start early to do the work. Some of you are on this sort of trajectory where you procrastinate to the last minute and somehow you end up doing the work and come up tops at the end and you feel you're a very successful procrastinator. However, that's not the right way to go overall, and if you want to master skills of time management, if you want to improve your skills and stay away from procrastination and leaving things to the last minute in anticipation that some miracle will happen, then it's always good to start your work early. Point number 2, and this is the one that I really like: grades are not everything, even though they matter a lot. It tells you that while you're in institutions, schools, universities, to actually get a good degree, it's quite important that you also pay attention to other things that you can learn within the university. There are so many soft skills: communication, social interaction, working in groups, teamwork. All of these soft skills and other technical skills you learn within the institutions you attend can be very helpful. Now, by the time you begin to build a CV, you realize that your education or asking about your grades is one small part of what is a requirement in your CV. There's so many other things you can add in your CV that can determine whether you're getting that next job. The soft skills you put in there, words you put in there, the things you're passionate about you put in there, the things you volunteered for while you studied. All of these make the difference in addition to the grades you have obtained. So whether your grades are up there as you want them or not up there as you would have loved for them to be, don't stress about it. There's so many other things you can articulate in your CV, you can articulate about yourself that can be the difference between you and the next person who applies for a specific job. Cramming is a terrible strategy. So yes, maybe you burnt the midnight candle the night before an exam and then you pass the exam. Maybe you scraped through a coursework that you did at the last minute. But that's not learning. You're not in the university, you're not in school just to pass. Remember point number 2. Yes, the grades matter, but they're not everything. The learning process is a very important aspect of your learning. It's a very important aspect of you being in school. So do not wait for the last minute to start studying. High-performing students, high achievers, actually study consistently over the weeks of their learning. Point number 4, you will not always feel motivated. Now that might be a bit dampening to know. You might be a very motivated individual generally, but to tell you the truth, sometimes you're not motivated as a student. You're not motivated to do any work. You're not motivated to go to classes, and that's okay sometimes. But it's important to know that you have to find that self-motivation. When necessary, you have to find a study group that can motivate you. You have to find a support network, and then you have to push yourself. Only you can really push yourself. So find those things that motivate you or that can motivate you. Find those things that can push you. Think about the vision. Think about the overall goal for you. Why are you in school? Why are you in university? What are you there for? And that should motivate you to keep going even days that you don't feel motivated. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you're very excited to be in the classroom, and the next time you're not. So find that energy somewhere and push yourself to keep going. You can do it. Point number 5, social media is a distraction. Yes, I understand that there are so many applications, so many social media applications that enhance learning, that are marketed for improving learning. But I tell you what, it's not a space where you take a break. Some people just say, you know what, I'm just going to have a look at my TikTok or Instagram for 2 seconds. And they realize that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes gone, 1 hour gone. Sometimes you find people, sitting in the library, for hours. They haven't done any significant work. They spend so much time on social media, and that could be a problem. That could affect your learning process. It could affect your entire time management, schedules. So understand that when you pick up your phone or you go onto a social media platform, that is creating a distraction and derailing your overall learning process. So next time you want to take a break, take a real break. Stand up, stretch, take a walk, grab water, grab coffee, grab tea somewhere. But avoid picking up your phone and going to social media. That is not a way to take a break. So we told you before that grades are not everything, even though they matter, which is absolutely correct. But in this point, we're also telling you that networking is very important. So no matter how good your grades have been, no matter how great you performed in school in terms of grades, networking is actually more important than you think. Now, over the years, I've seen students who have come out with exceptional grades. I've seen students who have not come out with so much of an exceptional grade, but I've actually seen students that have performed less actually get better jobs. I've seen students who haven't performed, top tier students who have great jobs, who have great careers, who are doing better professionally than they did as students. Connections often open doors for you, for people to even see the qualifications that you've earned. A lot of times people just send CVs. You're applying for a job, and you're applying for a job opening that the company is only going to take 5 people, 5,000 people are applying for that job. What happens if all of you have about the same grades? The difference between students who might get that job is an opportunity or a referral provided by some of their networks. It could come from someone recommending that individual. If you go on LinkedIn, you find people recommending people every single day. You find people referring people to jobs every single day. Essentially, those people will be seen by the companies when they are recommended. And then the company can obviously have a look at your CV and see whether those grades matter, see whether the qualifications that you have matter. So it's important to know that while you're still in a study environment, that you build a network. You build a network with your fellow students. You build a network with tutors, professors. You also build a network amongst professionals, whether it's from career fairs that happens within the local community or within the university. It's important that you are building a network across different areas, sectors, and group of people. Who you know can just be as important as what you know. Learn to accept failure. No matter how hard you try, sometimes you might fail at what you've done, but that's not the end of the world. So whether you failed an exam, you didn't pass the coursework, or you didn't score as high as you would have wanted, it's not the end of the world. Failure is a learning process. It's a feedback process. So use what you've learned from the failure to improve yourself and do better next time. So understand that you have strengths and you have weaknesses. So find where you have weaknesses, identify people who can help you, and the realistic thing for you to do is to try to learn and strengthen all of your weaknesses. But understand and clearly embrace this truth that you cannot be good at everything. You cannot be the best in all subjects. You cannot be the best in all sports activities that you engage in. There will be people better than you. There will be things that you will not be good at. So focus on what matters, bank on your strengths, and accept that you cannot do everything. It's the reason why you have engineers and doctors. Engineers cannot do doctors' works, and doctors cannot do engineers' jobs. So understand that there are things that you're good at and things that you will not be good at. You need to take care of your health, or it will catch up with you at some point. So all those late nights, all those junk food, all those partying and excessive drinking will at some point catch up with you. So make your health a priority now before it forces you to do that. Engage in proper healthy living, eat well, sleep well, exercise your body and mind, and that will help you in the future. You'll look back a few years from now and tell yourself you should have tried harder. It may not seem like that now, but a few years from now, when you graduate, when you move on from where you currently are, you're going to say to yourself you should have tried harder. You should have paid more attention in the classroom, you should have taken more advantage of the opportunities that were presented, you should have engaged in better communications or interactions with your colleagues, you should have built better networks. It might not seem like that today, but a few years from now, you will be looking back and thinking that you should have done better. So start now to put in the work, motivate yourself, find the right support network, begin to capitalize on your strengths, begin to improve and take advantage of the opportunities within the university, within your institution. Learn and advance in technology, and be adaptable and flexible, and you will live to appreciate your efforts today in the future. So those are the 10 truths that you probably didn't want to hear, but maybe you thought about it before, and maybe it's hit you in several areas because you're speaking the truth about things that you have experienced. But always keep in mind that these things exist. Figure out ways that you can improve yourself. Be conscious, be present in your environment. Don't be a passive student, don't be a passive individual. Try to engage a little bit more, become more active, and take advantage of the opportunity. There's so many advantages within the institutions that you attend. These institutions are like small communities. The people you meet today are going to be the CEOs in some institutions tomorrow. They're going to be the people you probably want to partner with, or you want them to work with you. You might be the CEO, the owner of that business, or working in a top organization, or being politicians to change policies. Every single individual somewhere in the institution you are is going to play a role in the society in one way or the other. So wouldn't you want to know those people? Wouldn't you want to understand that you can be a part of constructing the future by your interactions with those people? I hope you found the video relevant. If you did, don't forget to share with your friends, like, subscribe, and don't forget to continue to show up.